Mount Barker in the Great Southern, where this Riesling comes from, was the first official subregion in the country, and this wine is from one of the region's early vineyards. We recently held a blind tasting of Great Southern Riesling, part of our deep dive series at YGOW.com. Our panel of winemakers and sommeliers picked their favourites, tasted completely blind. And this wine, the 2024 Gilberts Three Devils Riesling, was selected as one of the top wines, and in the glass it has a beautiful aromatic profile. There's white florals with freshly squeezed lime and stone fruits and mineral hints of flint and stone. Then on the palate, the acidity just sings and is beautifully balanced by the ripeness of the fruit and a talcum character too. There's subtle floral layers of interest. It's got real palate weight, and yet it stays refreshing, and it has this subtle bitter tonic finish. It's delightful. It really gets you salivating. You know, I'm in the mood for something like fried calamari or tempura, anything if you want to fancy it up a bit. Great Southern is one of Australia's largest wine regions by area, roughly 200 kilometres wide and 100 kilometres long. And while it's a latecomer to Australian winemaking, it was a pioneer of sub-regionality. Mount Barker, where the Gilberts vineyard sits, was Australia's first official sub-region, and Bev and Jim Gilbert established their vineyard in the mid-80s. And while they've had a series of plantings over the decades, this wine comes from their original Riesling block, now around 40 years old, and there's only 150 dozen of this wine produced, and they named it Three Devils after their three sons who earned the tag while Bev and Jim were setting up the vineyard. They had three toddlers under 4 years of age nipping at their heels, and they resourced the setup with Jim juggling shearing contracts to pay bills and doing contra labour deals to get vine posts for their land. And you can just imagine the chaos. And today, two of those three boys run the business. Clint manages the operations while Matthew handles the viticulture, and Riesling makes up around a third of their plantings, and they produce 4 different styles spanning a spectrum from dry and textural through to an off-dry version. And this wine is made mainly from the second pressings of the Riesling fruit, with a small portion of free-run juice added. After harvest, when you get the grapes into a presser, the free-run juice flows by itself just from the weight of the grapes, and then you start the pressing process, and little by little you're extracting some more solids from the skins and the pulp, which can pull out more fruit flavours and add texture and give the wine more generosity. And there's no oak treatment here. Indeed, there's no oak treatment in any of the Gilberts Rieslings. The focus is purely on what the fruit and what the site can deliver. So cheers to Jim and Bev for bootstrapping a vineyard set up 40 years ago with 3 toddlers in tow. For our full deep dive into Great Southern Riesling, head to younggunofwine.com. Cheers.